was an honour to be there. He was my patient. It was good. In a weird way, it was good. Hi guys, welcome to the channel. We're going to go for a paddle today, and I'll let you know what it's all about when we're out on the water. So let's get going, let's get out there. The weather's good. I was in the ambulance service for 34 years. And obviously over those 34 years, I've experienced a lot of different situations that maybe the average person in the street aren't exposed to. And it was all part of my job, really. Just take it in your stride. But now I've retired, you kind of look back on those times and think, whoa, that was a bit unusual. Paddled 2 miles now from the start. And look at this place. It's just so quiet. Got the odd fish jumping. So for my first story, it's not a story, this is what really happened. I got called to a gentleman, an older gentleman, I think he was like maybe 70. And he had a problem with a blood vessel in his neck. And he'd had this problem for a long time. And this particular evening, for some reason, it had ruptured. When we arrived shortly afterwards, it didn't look good. There was a lot of blood all over the walls, over the ceiling. When these things go, they go. But he was still alive. We got to him very quickly. And the best way to stop the bleeding was to put my finger in a small hole in his neck, and that stopped the bleeding. We thought about other things, other ideas, but this worked. So to cut a long story short, we had to manoeuvre him out of the house. He was unable to walk, so we had to carry him out, but I had to keep my finger in the hole in his neck. It was a bit of a challenge, but we got there. The gentleman, he was conscious throughout, he was chatting to me. He was very aware of his situation. We managed to get a little bit of history about his past and the problems he'd had with his neck. He'd had, if I remember rightly, he'd had some kind of cancerous growth maybe, but it was inoperable. So he knew there was a problem, and he knew, from what I remember, that it was likely to rupture at some point, and it had. We got him to hospital. We got him into the ED department. Still got my finger in the hole in his neck, stopping the bleeding. Obviously I'd chatted to him a long way. I'd talked to him all the way into hospital, about a 20-minute ride in the ambulance. Found out a bit about him. His wife was with us as well, and yeah, it was very social considering the situation. It was very social. Nice guy, nice family. And when we were in ED, the junior doctor came in. And the doctor said, let's have a look what's going on. Take your finger out of the wound in his neck. So I took my finger out, and of course it just started bleeding heavily. So the junior doctor said, "Oh no, put your finger back in. I'll have to get my senior." So yep. About 10 minutes later, the senior doctor in the ED department came in, and it was the same scenario. You know, let's have a look, see how bad it is. So the same thing. I took my finger out and put my finger back in the hole to stop the bleeding. And he said, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the on-call surgeon in, the specialist. So that was about half an hour. We weren't busy that night. Somebody else in the ED department could have taken over, but I said, no, I've been with this gentleman. I want to see this through. This is my patient. About half an hour later, the consultant came in, and he knew of this gentleman, and he knew of the problems that he'd had. So that helped. And he came in, he had a good chat. I can't remember exactly what was said now. His wife was there. His wife was then taken outside. There was about a 5-minute gap where his wife wasn't there. She was talking to the consultant. And she came back in and she was in tears. The consultant was with her. And they said goodbye. She said goodbye to him. I don't know if he knew she was saying goodbye to him. But reflecting on it now, she said goodbye to him. And the consultant told me to remove my hand from the wound and walk away. And I did, and he died. I spoke to the consultant afterwards. He said there was nothing they could do about it. They hadn't operated. It was inoperable. It was going to happen. It was always going to happen, and it just so happened it happened that evening. There was probably a little bit more detail to it when I'd walked away, but that was the gist of the story. I'd got to know this chap quite well. I've been with him probably 2 hours now. Yeah, nice guy. Tragic circumstances. But yeah, an experience. One of my experiences in the ambulance service. It's not all road accidents, blood and guts, what you imagine, sprayed across the pavements. It's jobs like that. Yeah, that had a bit of blood in it, yeah. But it's just getting to know people, and then the unexpected happens. Well, it was the unexpected to me. I didn't know that was going to happen. I think his wife had an inkling. Yeah, she knew. He knew as well. Yeah. It was an honour to be there. He was my patient. It was good. In a weird way, it was good. Yeah, so that's my story for the day. And we'll carry on and have a little bit more of a paddle, shall we? Maybe you guys have got a story to tell when you found yourself in a situation which was a bit alien to you. It doesn't have to be your profession. You might have found yourself wrapped up in something just because you were nearby, or something similar. I'm just thinking aloud, really. I could tell you a story on the channel. And that just about sees us back.